4 days at Low T Center. Then,
hey guys, I got an update for you on my Blue Wolf motorized bicycle. She now has some new toys to play with. Something I've never put on a bicycle, much less a motorized bicycle. Now, I don't know exactly how to use the camera on this phone, so I'm going to have to turn it around so I can't see what you see. Hope y'all understand that. Check this out. Now, if y'all look, there's a headlight. And it works. And the bike is not running. I did some upgrades, some changes, a couple other odds and ends. One of the things I did, which is good for me, my new head, cast aluminum, same as the block, same as the cylinder, everything. It's very nice. By the way, that yellow fuel line you see, that's not fuel line. I couldn't find the size because for some reason 6mm won't fit it and a 1/4 inch won't fit it. It's neither. It's in the middle of both of them, which makes no sense to me because 6.5mm will fit a 1/4 inch. I don't know. It's Chinese. But that odd size, can't find it. So what that fuel line really is, I took a stethoscope that I got from a hospital once when I was in there. So it's given to me for free, but whatever that is on the end had broken. So I just took it apart. I cut a piece of that and I put it in there. It's still holding, it's still working, and it has not leaked yet. Now, the reason it's lifted away from the cylinder head is because it'll get hot and vapor lock, so I didn't want that. Now, she does have a battery and a charging system in her. The wiring is fairly simple. This line, this is the charging system. It's in one of these little spring things like the clutch cable. That's to keep it from getting too hot on the cylinder. And it's all connected. It all runs up through there. And there's a switch. And so far, everything works. If you look under my saddlebags, which are these, very nice, they suck, from China. There's actually a box up under there. That box contains a battery. It also contains the battery charger, 12-volt system. Entire system's 12-volt. All it does is run the headlight right now. I haven't put in anything else. I'll probably put in a tail light, a few other odds and ends things eventually. It does have brake lights, it does have turn signals, but they operate off battery. They're not operated by the 12-volt battery. They use AA's. Just AA's, not anything fancy. They work. I have an alarm system on my bike so that if I ride somewhere, it does have an alarm. So if someone messes with the bike, they'll set it off. Not only that, this bike has 4 different forms of tracker. One that's connected to the police, or police, or the cops, or whatever that you want to call them. The second is a tracker that's connected directly to my phone. The third is a Bluetooth tracker, and it's good up to 60 feet. I have not tried this out. I've only gotten it to 50. I don't run all over Walmart, but that's where I tested it. And the fourth one is, I forget what it's called. Anyway, there's 4 of them. One of them you can see. One of them is back here on the rear and currently covered up. I'm not going to mess with it and dig it out. But one of them is visible. And if you really want to steal my bike, go for it. But expect to be arrested. Because despite the fact that it is a motorized bike, it is not all that terribly fast. It takes a while to accelerate. Now, I know that this bike will do 98 miles an hour, or at least it will on a dyno with mag wheels. I don't have the mag wheels. I couldn't keep them. It has 54 tooth sprocket. I live in Jonesboro, Tennessee. A lot of hills around here. A lot of hills, big hills. So I designed this bike to be able to go uphill without me pedaling. I can pedal, I usually don't because I just let it do its thing. The bike's name is Blue Wolf, and I've been working on it all last summer, all the way into winter, and I'm still riding it. It's raining right now, so I'm not riding it because it has those rear caliper brakes, the ones that grip your rim brakes, I guess you'd call them. Some people on YouTube call them rim brakes. I do not have a disc brake. I have not figured out a way to adapt one yet. This is a Granite Peak bicycle by Roadmaster with the 80cc engine kit, which I happen to know is actually 66. There's no such thing as an 80cc engine, or at least not this type. I've bought a solid rubber tire for the rear. Someone might ask, why did you do that? Too many flats. And the good tires cost too much. I'm not exactly rich, so just showing you how to do it the easy way. I don't know anything about electricity except Ohm's law and that you have to create a circuit. If you create a circuit, it should work. Now, my circuit is fairly standard. As long as that on-off switch is not turned on, it ain't going to drain that battery. That battery will be fine. I can leave it connected all the time. I don't have to disconnect it. If I leave that switch turned on, I'm going to have a dead battery. And I have a Murray riding mower, 98. And this is her battery. And it's currently on charge. Because last summer, I attempted to start her and she wouldn't start. She didn't act like she had any compression. I was confused because I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I knew it had to be something in the head. So I did something I've never done with that engine. I pulled the head off of it. The entire head, it's overhead valve. I had to think a second. But it's Briggs & Stratton, 17.5 horsepower with the IC anti-vibration system, and I'd never had the head off of it, never had any problem. Made in 1998, I bought it for $132 at an auction. And when it was sold at Walmart, it was $1,600. So I think I got a good deal. I take care of my equipment, which is something you guys need to learn. Everyone on YouTube, y'all need to learn to take care of your stuff. Some of you rich kids out there, you think that the world should be handed to you? I've worked for everything I own. And I take care of what I got. Because my mom and daddy ain't going to go buy me one. I'm 33 flipping years old. If I want it, I have to buy it. So, now that I got that off my chest. So I took the head off. And the valve seat had popped out. I'd never seen an engine do that. Ever. So, I cleaned out the hole. Real good. Cleaned the seat. After taking the valve out. Then I red Loctited that sucker back in and peened around it to make sure it don't come back out. But while I was trying to figure out why it wouldn't start, I killed the battery. The battery is about 4 years old. Considering it's a mower battery, it's been dead about 4 times. Hopefully it'll come back. It's still charging. It's a trickle charger, so it ain't going to fill very fast. I know better than to try and charge it real fast to kill it. So, how do I know about Ohm's law to be able to do electricity? I vape. At the moment, this sub-ohm tank, this coil is about 2 years old and I'm still using it. Ain't gonna tell you how, that's my secret. But, by using Ohm's law, which I use for the RDAs and RTAs and RDTAs and so on and so forth, yada yada yada, I figured out how to build the ignition control deck of the bike. I know how to put it together. As soon as I get it, there'll be a fan in it. The fan, the only purpose of it is to blow air through the box that the battery is in. And that's mainly because when you charge a battery, it releases hydrogen. Hydrogen is extraordinarily explosive. Trust me, you don't want to be riding down the road and this thing explode behind you. So, 12 volt, 2.2 AH battery, and it'll take care of everything. It does not have a fuse built in. I left that out. It's too much trouble. When I originally connected it, I connected it to a 12 volt, 7 AH battery. Guess what happened? The wires got too hot and shit was going nuts. So, I disconnected in a hurry. I couldn't disconnect it by hand. It's too hot. So I grabbed a pair of pliers, pulled the red off, and put it all back. I was like, you got to be kidding me. What did I do wrong? Then I checked the instructions. The instructions say, a battery no more than 2 AH at 12 volts. It's like, oh. Like I said, I don't know anything about electricity. Now, some of you might be asking me, someone mentioned I could look this stuff up online. Well, the only thing I have that connects to the internet is this phone that I'm currently using for this video. Now, I do have a computer, but it's a Windows XP, and I only recently upgraded from my very old Windows 98. I like older technology. That's why I got a 2-stroke. It makes a whole hell of a lot of noise. And it does. I would start it, but I've got RTV sealant on the carburetor intake. I'm trying to seal it because I had a leak. I'm trying to let that head gasket seat in. I had a brass one. Here. Someone asked me what head gasket is the best. These brass are not the best. They are crap. All it did was bend and it peed oil out the side. It didn't leak any gas, it just leaked the oil out. So going down the road, I kept hearing this beep, 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 beep noise. That would be your head leaking. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But my bike starts on full start. I'd show it to you, but I got it covered up because it's raining. So, someone might ask me, well, why did you put a full start on it? Because of this. About 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, August 23rd, 2016, I was on a motorized bicycle that I did not keep up. I did not take care of it. I especially neglected the brakes. I figured I just put my feet down and stop. Doesn't work that way. I got hit by a truck. Truck was doing 80 in a 45 and I got run over. I was in the hospital for 4 months and broke my leg in 14 places and crushed my pelvis in 4 places. So, guess what? I have working brakes. I couldn't stop. Everyone thinks I was trying to commit suicide or something like that. Not likely. I have too many engines to take care of. So, here's a 49cc engine. And it was fun. Till I got hit. So then 4 years later, what do? I build another one and give it more power than the old one had. Get back up on the horse that threw you. It's still got issues, but I will have it working correctly and I'll go back to riding it. It does have lights in the wheel, dead battery. And it has lights on the rear. I don't know what that is. The slanted pieces that come off the seat post and come down to where your rear wheel is. It has lights on that. I don't know what that's called. I'm not tech savvy on bicycles. I'm tech savvy on lawnmowers and tillers and weed eaters and all that stuff. Like my Olson and Rice generator, my Rio mower engine, my 1934 Briggs. I have a Jacobson, but I haven't restored it yet. Anyway, so I just wanted to update y'all on the bike and what I'm doing to it. Hopefully you'll find this interesting, and if I can ever figure out how to prop this phone up so you can actually watch me do something, instead of just telling you about it, I will. I don't actually know how to do that yet. Like I said, I'm not tech savvy, but I'll figure it out eventually. Anyway, TTFN, ta-ta for now, preserving the past for the future.